And welcome to the water cooler, everybody. I'm David Brody. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday, February 3rd, 2023, and the squad meltdown has begun. Honestly, it's been hilarious to watch. And why are they falling apart? Is it because of some higher moral cause or injustice? No, of course not. No, it's all because their precious liberal comrade in arms, Ilhan Omar, was taken off the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Now, look, I know, the travesty of it all. How will America ever survive going forward? Well, before we get to the meltdown part, let's have the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, recap why Omar is unfit to serve on that specific committee.
She said the American military was equal to Hamas and to Taliban. From a member of the Foreign Affairs. She said Americans only like Israel because it's all about the Benjamins. And 3 years later, she said, I didn't know there's a trope when it comes to referring to someone who's Jewish with money. She said on 9/11, as a member of Congress, as an individual who's sitting on Foreign Affairs, something happened that day. What does that say to other people around the world? What does that say to somebody else who wants to create another 9/11 America? I'm sorry. It's not right. We were right in our action, and she can serve on other committees. But it puts America in jeopardy, and I'm not going to do that under my watch. And it's fair in the process, unlike them.
Good for McCarthy. Of course Omar shouldn't be serving on that committee. That's like putting me on the subcommittee of healthy eating. I'm not qualified. But let's now dissect the meltdown, shall we? And before we get to the absolute star of the show, who of course is AOC, let's begin with crying Rashida.
You are showing who you all are, really.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Omar will not be silenced.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
To Congressman Omar,
the gentlewoman's time has expired.
That our country is failing you today through this chamber. You belong.
The gentlewoman is no longer recognized, and the gentleman from Mississippi is recognized.
Okay, thanks, Rashida. Exit stage left, as in far, far left. And now for AOC. AOC. She's the gift that keeps on giving. She, of course, had to make this all about race and ethnicity because if the left doesn't get their way, then racism is, of course, to blame. So here she is, but AOC takes it to a whole nother level of insanity when she morphs into like this Pentecostal preacher walking on hot coals mode. Have a look.
Thank you. Now, as a fellow New Yorker, I think one of the things that we should talk about here is also one of the disgusting legacies after 9/11 has been the targeting and racism against Muslim Americans throughout the United States of America. And this is an extension of that legacy. Consistency, there is nothing consistent with the Republican Party's continued attack except for the racism and incitement of violence against women of color in this body. I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him with one of the most prestigious committee assignments in this Congress. Don't tell me this is about consistency. Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers and an entire amount of tropes and also elevated her to some of the highest committee assignments in this body. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me because I didn't get a single apology when my life was threatened. Thank you.
Ooh, don't tell me. And off she went into the cold, fiery Antifa night. Obviously, AOC is missing a few screws, but on a separate side note for a moment, I got to tell you, I love how AOC does all of these accents. Remember this one?
All right, listen,
Okay, going full Puerto Rican at a town hall, and then when she needs to pull out the Southern accent, she can do that too. She's very talented. Watch this.
This is what organizing looks like.
That's right.
This is what building power looks like. This is what changing the country looks like. It's when we choose.
And of course, she doesn't just act with her voice. I mean, let's not forget her Best Actress Award for the riveting film in which she starred. It was called Fake Handcuffs.
Abortion rights
Memo to AOC, when you have fake handcuffs on, do not raise your hand in the air. Now, I'm digressing, but you get the point. The only thing authentic about AOC is that she really is certifiably nuts. And the left, of course, loves to turn everything into a racism issue. So here's Ilhan Omar, the woman at the center of the controversy, joining in on that narrative.
This debate today, it's about who gets to be an American. What opinions do we have to be counted as Americans? This is what this debate is about, Madam Speaker. There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. Anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they...
No, Ilhan, we're not surprised, but not for the reasons you suggest. Your comments did you in, not the racist GOP. And speaking about comments, that's why people like Adam Schiff will no longer be on the House Intelligence Committee. He was stripped from that committee, and not because of those weird-looking eyes. No, it was because he openly lied to the American people when he chaired the Intelligence Committee regarding Trump's impeachment over the infamous Ukrainian phone call. And Democrat Eric Swalwell was booted from that committee as well, but not because he couldn't catch flies with his mouth, as his picture suggests. No, it was because of his ties to a suspected Chinese spy who had helped fundraise for Swalwell's re-election campaign. That, I don't know, seems like a disqualifier to me. Maybe she's now in that hot air balloon over Montana doing some research. I don't know. What I do know is that the Democrats are in full meltdown mode. From the Squad to Schiff to Swalwell, Democrats are realizing that there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Sheriff McCarthy.